Hey y'all, so I think I am live now. I am just going to give people a few minutes here just to come into the room. And I'm on my phone. So this is a little different from being on my computer. This is a little different format than I would typically do. So if y'all are in the room, okay, I see people coming in. Hey Latoria. If y'all are in the room, make sure that y'all let me know that you are here. Hey Pro Style, hey Light Bearer, hey Mark. So as y'all see, I didn't do my live last night because I wanted to have some space to talk about the upcoming debate, which I did watch last night, and I'm not gonna be on here for a long time. I only literally have just a few minutes before I have another engagement, but I did just want to address some things that I could just quickly remember off the top of my head, and then also some of the things that were the most talked about last night. And so as people are coming into the room, I'll just go ahead and get started. So if I remember correctly, the debate last night was about 90 minutes long. The first 5 minutes, okay, literally within the first 5 minutes, they came in hot. Overall, looking at the totality of the debate, I think that it was hugely a disservice for Americans, for particularly for moderates, independents, people that may have not decided yet who they're gonna vote for. Supposedly there's people that still don't know going into this, and we may or may not find that hard to believe. And even for the people that really wanted to watch, to hear these people talk about their policies, their ideas, this and the other. Now, will we see more of that going into the second and third debate? I hope so, but I do not feel like that's what we got out of this first one. So in the first 5 minutes, you have the candidates coming in hot, okay? We're well aware of the fact that Trump was throughout most of the debate heavily talking over Joe Biden. And so this is my thing. As somebody that has been watching both of these people, how they have been addressing their fan base and things like this, I believe if Joe Biden is this bad candidate, he's terrible on these issues, he's gonna do this and do that, he's gonna have all these gaffes, let him speak and let the chips fall where they may. For me, I was particularly looking to see how Joe Biden's memory was going to hold up throughout this debate. Now, there were some areas where he had some gaffes, he mixed up his stuff, but I may know that, right? I may know he is having issues with his memory. However, y'all have to remember that there are tons of people, tons of Americans that not really into the news, don't really read a lot, don't really pay much attention, you know what I mean? And they're deciding, oh, well, a lot of people are watching the debates, so I'm gonna, watch the debates. This is a time for me to hear from their mouths what they have to say in front of each other, right? And so I just feel like this was a missed opportunity. Actually, at the end, it seems like, it appeared to me like Chris Wallace may have had some really good questions that could have really been delved into. Like, for example, in the first 5 minutes, they brought up the Health Care Act, right? Trump was making some really good points about the Health Care Act, about the mandates on the Health Care Act. I have told y'all the Affordable Health Care Act was something that affected me personally with the mandate. I feel like this could have resonated with a lot of people sitting at home, but you don't even have the time to think about these issues when it's a lot of bickering and back and forth. And I wanted to hear how Joe Biden would respond to this, or what was his excuse for this, you know, those type of things. So I just feel like it was a lot of potential here that was just a lot of missed opportunities. At that point, I do feel like Chris Wallace, when he was going into talking about the healthcare, was cut off. I feel like some of that could have been resolved in other places, like how they would bring different stuff back up and things like that. But those were also, missed opportunities. It got to one point where Trump was like, okay, what about Joe Biden cutting me off? And Chris Wallace was like, I mean, Mr. President, like, to be fair, you've been doing most of the cutting off here. So this is my point. If Joe Biden is so bad for Americans, his plan sucks, everything he has done sucks, right? People are smart and can listen and decipher through things, especially when you are able to respond. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I thought this would be more like the debates with Hillary Clinton, right? Where Hillary Clinton would have her time to speak. She could say what she wants to say. People could take it in. And then, because we know Trump is going to be, snarky and kind of have his like clever remarks and retorts and this, then the other. So I don't think anybody watching it believed otherwise. However, this is my thing, and this is something that I've always talked to y'all about, is the media and how they're going to represent things. You cannot continue to say, oh, the media does this to me, the media does that, the media does this. And then when you come in like this, you're overshadowing and giving them bait. That's just what it is, all right? As far as Joe Biden's memory, he actually did a little better than I expected. Or to be honest, I could have overlooked some of those things because it was too much back and forth and too much going on. But from what I could tell, his memory seemed to be a lot better than I expected. There were some rumors going around that he was mic'd up, that Joe Biden had a mic going through his coat and maybe something on his wrist. I didn't see anything in Joe Biden's ears. I don't even see how that would even make sense, because it seems like we would have saw him doing this most of the time, trying to get feedback and things like that. So that didn't make sense to me. Joe Biden did make a gaffe, okay, about the Green New Deal. Chris Wallace, some people were saying, Trump was debating against Joe Biden and Chris Wallace. I feel like if both candidates would have had the time to talk, it looked like Chris Wallace, because Chris Wallace asked him about, I think he asked him like directly, like, Vice President, do you support the Green New Deal? He also asked him, I can't remember if it was something kind of law enforcement / Antifa type thing that he asked him directly about, and things like this. But anyway, Joe Biden did make a gaffe on that part, because first when Chris Wallace asked him, like, do you support the Green New Deal? And he was like, of course I do, right? And he started talking about how he did. And Trump responded and was like, oh, you do, And then he was like, well, no, I don't. My plan is different from that. And things like that. So that was one of the spaces where it was more obvious, right? Some people were saying that the tactic was to get Joe Biden to split him between the moderates and like the super leftist, progressive, Antifa, Black Lives Matter types and all this. That I see how that could have been the case if you would have actually let the man speak and shown it to people. But the way this was done, I feel like people are going to come into this. It's almost as if, like, me, even knowing some of the terrible policies or things that might have been done. For example, I already mentioned the mandates with the health the Healthcare Act, right? Me knowing that, but not having a smooth opportunity for this person to stand on their record and have to address these things without constantly being interrupted, makes me think like, I just don't think, I don't see how that doesn't make anybody think anything less than, oh, well, now I still moderate, leftist, liberal, progressive, whatever you want to call it. I don't think anything Joe Biden said was, so he came out and said, yes, I support law enforcement. And it was something else he said, right? But I don't see that as being some like, oh, we got him. Oh, we got him. Now the progressives are not going to support him. Like nothing happened there that would make me see that to be true or believe that. A lot of the people, and I've already said this about, I guess it's a media strategy, right? To paint Joe Biden as like super supportive of Black Lives Matter and Antifa. And yes, we know sometimes these politicians toe the line because, they may or may not want to alienate people. But as far as the record, what these people have said and done, I've told y'all, a lot of people protesting in the streets hate both of these candidates equally. They literally hate both of them. Why people would think otherwise, I don't know. If people even remember, Black Lives Matter started, right, during the Obama, Joe Biden era, okay? So I just can't believe I sat there through that whole thing, watched that whole thing, especially when I felt like there were some really good moments that could have been salvaged. I followed Jo Jorgensen on Instagram, and she was, just making remarks about how they didn't let her speak, how they're scared to, have her on a debate stage and stuff like this. And now I'm thinking, like, would that have really maybe changed the dynamic of it, like having a woman on stage? Would it have changed the dynamic of it, or would she just been caught up in like two people doing this? You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna address this last thing, and then I'm gonna hop off here, you guys. But the whole Proud Boys, white supremacy type statement, right? So Chris Wallace comes out and asks Trump, will he condemn the white supremacists, the Proud Boys that may have been at some of these protests and things like this? Trump goes on to say, well, who do you want me to condemn? Name them. I'll condemn them. And then he goes on to say, Proud Boys, stand down. I think those are the words he used. Stand down, stand by. I know he said stand by for sure. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about the stand down part. But if I remember correctly, he said something like stand down or stand back and stand by. So this is the thing. I am a person that I do not take hashtags and media clips of what people say. I usually try my best to go and watch like full press conferences. I'll watch like C-SPAN and stuff like that. I've completely decreased my time for watching like talk news and this type of stuff, so people can tell you how to feel as they're telling you the story. You have the opportunity on a national stage to clarify your statements. You know more people are going to be watching this event than any one news story, than reading any more than any one report, this is the time to tell people directly how you feel, regardless of how many times you have said something. With me, even as a small time YouTuber, something I've really had to get used to is constantly saying the same things over and over. People will see me. People will, because I'm following this person on Instagram or Twitter, because I was at the same event with this person, because, I said something a certain way that they don't like. Now they will try to go and put words in my mouth that I've never said, that I've never felt this way. They will attach positions to me that are not even mine, right? Make up in their head this person of who I am. I know that you've never watched any of my content. You've seen a couple of my posts, and in your head, you tried to make this whole thing of who I am. There's been several times where I have had to constantly rehash things, restate my position, okay? It kind of comes with the territory. You have this stage to finally address this. Now, let me say this because I have to be honest, and I have to clarify this, and I've talked about this a little in the past. If you go back and watch some of these clips in long form, particularly with the, there's good people on both sides, right? The statement did not stop there. There is more to this statement. So I know Trump's fans, in their mind, you probably watched the Black Platinum Plan speech, right? Where Trump comes out and says, we're gonna designate the KKK and Antifa as terrorist organizations. You probably watched the whole speech of when he said, good people on both sides. And then he follows up with directly addressing white supremacists and the KKK and things like this. However, okay, this is a point that I brought up at the Solutionary Summit on the stage because somebody in the audience asked this question about people should know this and people should know that. This has been in the media and this has been in the media. I don't think y'all realize how much the everyday regular person is in an echo chamber. I don't think most people realize that. I don't think that y'all realize that most people get all of their information from the same news sources. That it is more unheard of for somebody to actually watch press conferences in long form, to actually read their news, to actually read full articles from different leaning sources, okay? That's not the norm. Even with y'all in this Breonna Taylor case, I brought this up on my Instagram. I haven't had a chance to make a video about it and really delve into it. Lies, just lies coming from both sides. Just straight out lies. Stuff that has been debunked, but people are so committed to their narrative. You're so committed to your narrative. You're so committed to being in your bubble that same thing with coronavirus. As new information comes out, y'all are completely unwilling to accept the new information that comes out because you want to stay attached to whether it's your biases, whether you want to stay attached to your bubble, the people that's on your side, your team, this, that, and the other. You're wrong. Okay? So, to be fair, yes, there has been times when Trump has directly addressed white supremacy and the KKK. As I told you, I don't have my equipment today because I am getting ready to head to another engagement. But if, for example, two things you can go back and watch are the where he talks about the Platinum Plan, and you can even go back and watch that good people on both sides thing in long format to decipher for yourself. Don't go watch the talk news people. Go watch the actual clip. And why I'm saying that is because there was a missed opportunity to do the same thing last night. You had millions of people watching in long format. Most people, by the time the news, the news talk people come on to decipher this and tell us you should have felt this about this, you should have felt that about that. We done checked out because y'all didn't, you just done gave us way too much energy with the debate anyway. So we don't even care anymore. Most people have tuned out. So anything that people want to say, get off their chest, bring to millions of people watching, however many people watching. I haven't looked at the numbers yet. That was the time to do it live. So now you cannot turn around and be like, oh, the media is picking on me. You cannot do that when you have the time to address it directly to the people like I am doing right now. Say what you feel right here. It's no 3-second or 30-second delay. It's nothing typing up at the bottom. Oh, you should be outraged about this. Hashtag blah, blah, blah. So overall, I think that the debate was a disappointment. I think that there was some potential. I think that a lot of people, particularly the fans, right, were watching this, as like entertainment. Some type of rooting for their sports team and stuff like that. But when you have real people that actually care about real issues, watching, trying to pay attention, wanting to, because yes, you can write the policy, you can do the policy, you can say what you want on your talk radio, which the people not on your team don't even listen to anyway. This is your time to address everybody directly in live format, and I think that time was not used in the most opportunistic way, because it was used as more fodder to feed people's fan bases and not to really focus on the issues. Should I even expect much more than that? I mean, I don't, honestly, at this point, probably not, because this is kind of where we have come, seems to be, right? As a country, everything now is about the freaking entertainment value of things. And like I said, if people's records are bad, they're this and that, let it speak for itself, because we're literally watching live. So for Trump to not be able to address this statement live, or maybe he did address it, but in my opinion, it was a failure. And now you can't come in and be like, oh, the media is picking on me. No, we watched you live. We saw what you said when you said it. So me, as far as trying to hold the media accountable to some extent, when people constantly throw them bait, knowing how the media is, and this is not only for politicians and stuff like that. I've even talked about on just an everyday regular people level, how sometimes we just give the media so much room and opportunity to do stuff and then be mad. You can't be mad when the media gives you what you feed into. This is what y'all pay for. You love it. You had your popcorns and your soda on deck. You like the entertainment value of it, and they just keep giving you more. And me, just as the personality type that I am, I know some of y'all loved it. It was fine to you. You picked your sides. Either you thought, yeah, Trump, you better show him, or you thought, oh, Joe Biden, look how he's picking on him. Whichever route you decided to go. But for people like me, and people that actually want these people to have to be held accountable in front of the people, right there, live, no edits, no 30-second, however long delays. And really looking for these people to be able, because it's different. It's different when you're across the aisle from somebody that don't agree with you, as opposed to coming on somebody's radio show, right? So, and you already gave them a list of questions of what they can and can't ask you and all these other things, right? So I just think overall, it was for people like me, because I can only speak on my behalf, and I'm sure y'all in the comments, saying whatever y'all saying now. But for people like me, it was a failure. I'm not a person, y'all know. I told y'all I don't watch a lot of TV in general. I don't really need the entertainment value. So it didn't do anything for me as a person. As me looking to these people to be, I want to see you be held accountable for the things that you've done wrong. And I want to see you have to answer from across the aisle of a person that you don't agree with, and live in front of the American people. I want you to have to stand on it and not be interrupted. Then you're interrupting so much that now you give the moderator an opportunity to look like he's taking sides, because at some point he does have to say, like, come on. You know what I mean? So for me, I was just like, I really wanted to stop watching it earlier but I felt like to know what's going on and be able to talk to y'all about it, I needed to just go ahead and watch it in long format, like I suggest to y'all and implore you guys to do. And so, like I said, I have another engagement that I need to be headed to. And this is why I didn't do this in my typical format of bringing up clips and this happened and this happened. But this was just some of my overall thoughts of how this was going to be handled, how the media was going to look at it. And it's just, hopefully the second debate will be much better. And like I said, I know some of y'all enjoyed it because you like WWE, you like theater, you like political theater and stuff like that. But it's just not my vibe. And honestly, if I was not a YouTuber, I would have stopped watching that way sooner than I did. I saw Political Pug left me a super chat. Thank you so much for that. And to everybody, let me see if I can read it. Let me pull it up. Y'all, I'm using my phone, so I don't even really know how to. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, he said it was a slapstick between two old geezers, right? And the funny thing about watching it, do y'all remember us being told how much so that two old white men would never make it this far in the presidential realm again? And then, this is what we got, shaking fist and shaking. I just imagine them shaking they like canes in the wind and stuff like that. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Y'all leave y'all comments below. Let me know what y'all think. I'm sure people are all over the place with it. We'll see what y'all say, but I just, I cannot, on such a stage, I just cannot believe that's what we were offered. I'm still in a state of disbelief. And everything that the media is going to say today, this is a response to what people are feeling from it was trash. It was trash. I would go more into it about how it's trash. They give y'all some of my better like bullet points, and yeah, so we'll talk about it more at a later time, and I can kind of go maybe a little deeper and break down some of the stuff point by point. But those are my main thoughts from right now that I can get in this short amount of time. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good day. Bye.